Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well and staying safe. We have someone for you to meet. So I had Grayson a week today, which is absolutely mad, and his name is Grayson Sam Keeble, and I just can't wait for you guys to meet him and him to be on this channel with us all. And I know for a fact that I'm gonna cry in this video already. Lauren, you haven't even started yet. I just know for a fact. I didn't know how to start this video. I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes thinking, how do I start it? And I thought, no, you're just going to introduce yourself like you normally do. But yeah, I want to share my really positive C-section experience with you guys. I'm going to have to stop. But yeah, I want to share my really positive C-section with you guys, and also just a little bit before I had Grayson, there was a few problems, and I also want to share them and just explain to you guys what happened. It's so hot. I've got to show you him, haven't I? I can't not. Here, guys. This is little Grayson. I'll hold him up a little bit better for you guys in a bit. He's just there chilling at the minute. Hopefully he's going to be good while I film this video for you guys. I'm hoping. But anyway, I want to go back to before I had Grayson. I was going to have my last midwife appointment, and I've got such a baby brain, so you're all going to have to bear with me. I don't know the exact dates and days and times. I'm just all over the show. But anyway, I had my last midwife appointment. I was about 38 weeks, and my normal midwife, I wasn't seeing my normal midwife because she wasn't in that day, so I was seeing someone else. And, you know, she did my blood pressure, my urine, everything like that. And then she got me to lay on the bed and she measured the bump. And she said, I want you to have a growth scan. I was like, okay. She seemed quite concerned with the growth. She said it looked like he stopped growing about 4 weeks ago. So my original midwife didn't pick this up. She didn't pick up that my bump was small. She didn't really do anything about it. I've shared it with you guys before. I've not really had the best experience with her. And also I've tried to contact her previous in the pregnancy and never got a reply or response from her at all. So I'm really grateful that I saw someone different that day because it got picked up, because it probably wouldn't have got picked up if it was her again. So I'm grateful that it was someone different. So she booked me in for a growth scan. An hour after that midwife appointment, the hospital actually rang me and they were like, we can put you in like a couple of days. And I was like, yeah, that's great. I had growth scans with Ollie, so I wasn't really too worried. You know, I've been there with Ollie and they were like, yeah, he's absolutely fine, you know, because it depends where baby's laying. A lot of people show bigger when they're pregnant. A lot of people are smaller. It just depends, doesn't it? So I wasn't too worried. Now, moving a couple of days forward, I went and had the scan. Tom wasn't allowed into the growth scan with me. It was just me. So I went in for the scan and she did a few checks and measurements, and she said he was measuring quite small for like where I'm supposed to sort of be on the, you know, the grid sort of thing. And then she noticed like blood flow and oxygen through the centre to him was like limited. It didn't look too good. And she also said, you know, I've been scanning you for about 10 minutes now and we haven't really seen much movement from him. And I was like, right, okay. So I got really concerned, scared, worried. I was on my own, you know, trying to take in all this big information and all these technical words she was using. I still don't know if that's got a name to it or anything, that like why the oxygen and the blood was getting like limited or something like that. I don't know if there's a specific name or a term for it. I'm just telling you what I can remember and what I'm going from what she said. So she walked me round to the triage and I was getting monitored. So they stuck me on a monitor for a good couple of hours. They were quite concerned at this point. They were very much like, you know, you're going to have this baby tonight. Like, he needs to come out. Like, he'll be better off if he's out. But they stuck me on the monitor so like I was saying, but my phone cuts off every 5 minutes. It's really annoying. Yeah, they were quite happy with the few movements that he was actually giving and like the stats on the monitor. I was absolutely fine. Like, my blood pressure, everything like that for me was fine. So I wasn't showing any signs of infection or preeclampsia. Like, it was all good. Are you going to be good? Please be good while I film this. So yeah, that was all good. But I did speak to one of the doctors. He come in and he was like, you know, this baby needs to come out a lot sooner than the 22nd. So as you all know, I was scheduled for the 22nd of February to have Grayson. But that got moved to the 13th of February. So I had him on the 13th of February at 12:46, and what an amazing experience that was. I just want to say all their midwives at the hospital, oh my God, they were incredible. The doctors, every single person was amazing. And I would hands down, sit that experience over and over and over and over again. It was amazing. So yeah, they were really good. So they just left me 2 days. I think it was 2 days. And then they brought me in and I had Grayson. They don't normally do C-sections on the weekends unless it's an emergency, which I was. So I was the only person that had that C-section that day, which was Saturday morning. So I went in at 7. I wasn't allowed to drink. I had to stop eating and drinking at 10 at night. I had to take an anti-sickness before I went to bed, and another tablet, and then I had to take more tablets in the morning, more anti-sickness, because there's something they give you. I think it's the morphine or something, or it's the injection in the back that makes you feel a little sick. So I went in, but annoyingly I was waiting, and the COVID test that they did a couple of days before, when I was there getting checks done, they did a COVID test and they lost the results, so they had to do a COVID test. So then me and Tom had to wait 2 hours for the COVID test to come back. It come back clear, like I didn't have COVID, I was all good. But no, all the doctors and midwives went through absolutely everything. They calmed me down. I was on the monitor at this point. Tom was allowed in, which was great. I was in like a little room. So I had all the bags, everything like that. And I was super nervous. I was actually shaking, like tremoling. I think that's how you say it. So I was just shaking. So I was super, super, super nervous. And then before you know it, they're saying, let's go down. And I walked down, literally I was in a room and you just went literally round the corner and it was right there. I walked in and they were all like, hello, you're right. They made it feel so comfortable. They had the radio playing. There was a good few doctors. There was 3 doctors and there was about 5 or 6 midwives. And I had 2 Pacific midwives. As soon as I walked into the hospital that day, they were with me from the morning until I had the C-section, and they were so lovely. Yeah, like I was saying, because the phone just loves to cut me off after every 5 minutes. Yeah, the midwives were just incredible. So they took me round, and bear in mind I had a cannula in as well. They stuck the man that was doing the injection in my back, he put a cannula, is that how you say it, in my arm. So then I walked around, I sat on the bed, I said hello to everyone. Like I said, there was a bit of music playing. It just felt so relaxed. I was trembling, I was shaking because I was nervous, but not really bad. I got onto this little bed. The bed is so small. It's not like your bed that you're staying in that I thought it would be. It's like this tiny, skinny little bed, like no wider than me, like probably about that much wider than me. It was a tiny little bed. I bent over, I had my lovely midwife in front of me, holding down my shoulders, and another midwife holding my hand, and the man numbed my back. And then it wasn't an epidural that he put in my back. It's like an epidural, but it isn't. It's just this numbing stuff, because they said, we're not using epidural, we're using something else. I was like, okay, but it does the same thing. I don't know the name of it, so sorry, I don't know the name. So yeah, they numbed me and then popped that straight into my back, and then all on my right side of my bum cheek, left side of my bum cheek, it went really warm. They said it would go really warm really quick, so then they laid me down really quick. Also they laid the bed like slightly on the left, so I was slightly tilted, just because it's a lot safer to lay, like when you're pregnant, you lay on your left, sleep on your left side because it's safer, like the blood flow, the oxygen, it's safer, so they tilt the bed slightly. They popped the sheet up. This lady, she was so lovely as well. She was constantly checking I'm all right and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I've got anxiety, I'm a bit worried, but I'm fine. I was trying to breathe and relax. So after I was numb, then Tom was allowed in. So Tom come in and he sat just above my head on the right side. It's just amazing, isn't it? I'm trying to remember it all as well. Like, that's why I'm doing the video now. I would have loved to have done it a bit sooner, just so it was even more fresher in the brain. So yeah, they popped the sheet up, and then the man that put the injection in my back, he was spraying with cold spray. So he said, you will not be able to feel this. So he sprayed it, couldn't feel it, sprayed it, couldn't feel it. And then he sprayed up here and I was like, yeah, I can feel it. He also got me to pinch my leg and I was like, am I touching it? Am I touching it? He was like, yeah, you're touching your leg, you're squeezing your leg. And I was like, I cannot feel it at all. And then he said, feel up here. And I was like, yeah, I can feel that. Couldn't feel anything down there. And then the doctor come in. She was literally like 4 foot nothing. She was so small, and she was the one doing the C-section with a trainee doctor as well. And then it started. They didn't really say that when they were starting. I think it's just so that you sort of don't worry and think. They just start. They don't really tell you. Yeah, they started, and all I felt was just pulling and tugging, but nothing was not even uncomfortable at all. It was fine. It was literally like someone was like pushing me, just like a little push now and then. It was nothing bad at all. And then he was born. He was born, and they were going to drop the sheet and show me. But as he was coming out, he pooed inside me. So they rushed him straight off and to clean me up as quick as possible because of obviously infection and stuff like that. They took him straight over, checked him all over, and then I heard this beautiful little scream, and that was it. That was it. I was amazing. Best feeling ever, hearing a little baby cry. Because they were like, yeah, he's out. And I was like trying to listen, like, is there a cry? And then they took him over, checked him over, rubbed him down, and then there was this massive cry, and I was just like, wow. And I looked straight at Tom, and we were both tearing up. Wow. And then Tom went over and they were like, do you want to come and cut the cord? So Tom got to cut the cord, which was really lovely. I didn't think with a C-section you were allowed. He said he walked past me slightly and he saw me old stomach open, but he tried to not look. And then he went over to little man and he cut his cord, which was, like I said, really, really nice. I didn't think they were going to offer him to cut it, because he's done Ollie's, he's done Grayson's, it's lovely. And yeah, I was up there crying my eyes out, sobbing. Everyone was like, congratulations, he's tiny, he's beautiful. And then they came over and they popped him on my chest, and that was it. Best day of my life. Why? Because it all went so smooth and they made me feel so comfortable. Yeah, like I was saying, I had to just take 5 minutes. Best day of my life, absolutely. And I would hands down sit that over and over again. I was so scared and worried, and I knew for a fact that I was going to be like, I'm so scared and worried. And then after it was done, I was like, I'd sit it again. It was amazing. It was really, really amazing. Ollie's birth was so different and so traumatic and so scarring, but this like delivery was the best experience of my life, the best day of my life by far. Obviously Oliver's birth, it was amazing. I had my first son, it was amazing, and meeting him, but the experience was awful. And this experience was just unreal. So I had him on my chest, I was crying my eyes out, looking at him and just taking him all in, and I was like, Jesus, he's tiny. He was £5 6 ounces. I got told 2 days before that he was about £5 1. So he was 5'6". Also, baby brain, I forgot to mention, the day that they were like, he's got to come out, and they monitored me and they said I was fine for a couple of days. I also was on steroids, so they gave me a steroid injection into my top of my leg, and then the next day I was in again and they gave me another steroid injection, and then the next day I had him just to help his lungs to strengthen up a little bit before he came out, because they said he was so small. But he come out at £5 6, so he was super tiny compared to Ollie, and he's just amazing. So after that, then Tom took him, so they gave him to Tom for a little cuddle, and they moved me off of the theatre bed onto a normal bed. By this point, I felt high. They put antibiotics in me, there was morphine in me for pain, there was everything that you could imagine, but I was so sensitive to the morphine, and I also had a wristband on because I was sensitive to codeine. So my hospital band was red, just so they sort of knew like I was sensitive to it, but the morphine I was really sensitive to. So the time they wheeled me back round to my room and gave me baby, I just really high and sleepy, and I was trying to function. I felt really heavy in the head, my ears were very heavy and ringy, and I was like, is this normal? She was like, it's just a pain meds, you're fine. My legs were still really heavy and numb, obviously. That was a really bizarre feeling as well, crazy feeling. It wasn't scary. I thought it would be scared to feel numb, and like when you don't have control in your body, like, because I like to have control, and me not being in control in my body, I honestly thought I was going to be really scared and go into a panic attack, and I wasn't at all. It was quite a weird feeling, but good. It was really weird. And then they were just going through notes, and I had a lady cleaning me up. I had a cannula put in just before the surgery as well, which was actually amazing because I didn't have to get up and go for a wee for hours. And then there was a lady in there. She was putting some of my socks on that I've still got on now for just to prevent blood clots and just to help blood flow, so I've got them on. They're like stockings sort of things. And then midwives were going through the notes, and we were all having a little chat and just loving the baby and enjoying the moment. And we were in that room for a good couple of hours before I got moved upstairs onto the Lexington ward, and then that's when Tom had to go, which was sad. But because of COVID, he wasn't allowed on. And I was thank you everyone so much. I was super grateful and just so thankful for everyone and what they did for me and my little boy, and brought him into the world safe. Absolutely amazing, really was. So then I went up to also I felt really sick after sort of he was born. I got wheeled back into my original room. I was feeling really sick, so they gave me an anti-sickness and I had the bowl there just in case. I'm going ahead of myself as well. They also latched him straight on the boob. He latched straight on. So we are breastfeeding and it is going super well. He's a brilliant little feeder and he's filling out so much already, and that's really sad. They grow too quick. They grow way too quick. So what else? I'm trying to remember. Wives, they took me up, and just before I went up and in the lift, I gave Tom a kiss and told him I loved him, and he kissed the baby, and then obviously he had to go back home, and I was put up on the ward, and it was pretty quiet up there, to be honest. There was only just loves to cut me off every 5 minutes. But yeah, I was taken up onto the ward, and there was only one other girl. There's like 6 beds. I think there was 6 or 7 beds, and there was one other girl opposite me, and then there was me, and then the midwife, said, "You did so well, we're so proud of you, congratulations." And then they went, and then I was left in the care with the nurses and the midwives upstairs on the Lexington ward. Again, they were all amazing as well. The staff, I can't thank them enough. I felt so bad every time I was pushing that buzzer, but obviously I had a C-section. I needed to get help because I couldn't move for so many hours after. So I was just, I was still really high at this point and trying to get rest. Grayson had different ideas. He wanted cuddling all the time and stuff like that, but man, I didn't care how tired. I was so tired, but I didn't care. At this point I was starting to get feeling back in my toes, so I was starting to move my toes. I had something to eat. I was so hungry, so I think I had a sandwich or some toast and a cup of tea. I made sure I took my decaf tea bags, and the lady that was bringing around the tea, I actually made really good friends with her, and we follow each other on Instagram, and she's so lovely. And she made the best cup of tea. So I took my decaf tea bags, and I'd always say, "Here's my tea bag." But yeah, no, it was just that bubble of being in the hospital with your new baby is just a beautiful feeling. Bit of wind. Yeah, it was just amazing feeling, like that lovely bubble. You're on cloud 9, and it's just you and the baby, and it's just amazing. I was starting to get sore when the morphine was wearing off. They wanted to give me I think it was codeine, and I was like, no, I'm sensitive to it. I do not want it. I had that after I had my gallbladder out, and I felt awful on that as well. I felt like I did when they gave me the morphine, but they were giving me that as I was having the surgery for pain after. And antibiotics, they were giving me as well, and fluids and stuff. But yeah, I was up on the ward. I was in this little beautiful bubble. I had my little baby and amazing midwives around me, and it was amazing. And obviously I was talking to Tom, texting him, sending him pictures and stuff because he couldn't be there. And they can't with all this COVID nonsense. It's so annoying because there's so many appointments that I'd have loved for him to gone to bond and just understand a little bit more coming from a doctor and stuff like that. But you can't because of COVID, which is it's really hard going through it not all on your own, most of it anyway, but pretty much it. I think in the evening, about 9, half 9, the lady took my cannula out because I filled up the bag really well, and she got me up and she helped me walk to the toilet, and I took my first wee. That was really good. So she was like, "We need you to have a good wee," and I did really well. I trapped as well in my stomach, and that was really painful, and I started to get in a little bit more pain, and they were just keeping me dosed up with ibuprofen and paracetamol because that's all I wanted. I didn't want anything else. This, bearing in mind, it was so hard to move and lift him out the cot, but I was doing it. I could do it on them. I know I could have hurt myself, but I was being super careful. What else? I'm trying to remember now. And then the next morning, I think about 4 o'clock the next day, they discharged me. They said I can go home. I'm doing really well. Baby's doing really well, and we can go home. And so Tom had to bring up the car seat. I had to put him all in, and then the midwives carried the baby to him and the bags, and he had all the bags and the baby, and then we walked down and I got into the car. In a lot of pain. Tom drove really slow. I was like, drive slow because I'm in a lot of pain, but also there's a baby in the car. Came home, and yeah. But I'll be honest, the first 3 to 4 days, the C-section scar, the pain is so bad. I was crying. It was really bad. But it's been a week now. It's a week today since he was born, and I feel freaking good. I feel so good. I'm back to hoovering and washing my floors. I'm still taking it easy, but I have to. I don't want to hurt myself. I've got a baby to look after and a little boy. I'm still taking it easy, but I'm so much more mobile than I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to be like, not move like at all, but I can, and it's great. 3-4 days is hard. Have a C-section or you've had one, you could probably relate. So the first 3-4 days is, but after that, it's absolutely fine. I'm doing really well. The scar's healing really, really well. Midwife appointment at the hospital on Thursday, so she checked baby, she took a bit of blood, so she did like a little foot on him and squeezed a bit of blood out. He was really good. She made me nurse him while doing it, so he was absolutely fine. He just had a little cry and he was fine. And then she checked him. She said he's a little bit jaundiced, but nothing bad. She said to keep him just sort of near the window or go out for some walks because daylight's really good. And he's given lovely wet nappies and he's weeing loads, so they're not concerned at all, slightly. And also she weighed him and he put on 44 grams, which I know is such a small amount, but she was like, babies normally lose a bit of their birth weight. Ollie did. He's put on 44 grams, so your milk is doing wonders to him and he's thriving and he's growing and he's doing everything he should do. He's just the most amazing little gift and I can't grateful than I am. I really am. So that appointment went really well. We're now here. He's now a week old, which sad, and it's gone so quick. You know, where does the time go? They do grow so quick. Ollie is in love with him. He's cuddling him all the time and he's, oh, look at his little nose or look at his little ears. He's, you know, he's interested and he loves him and he tells him he loves him. He held him like I was saying, he held him last night and he was like, I love you, baby Grayson. And he didn't even get prompted to say it. He just said it and he kissed him on the head. And it is so sweet, and they're going to have a great bond and they're going to love each other and they're probably going to hate each other and they're going to play together and they're going to fight together. And 2 kids, I feel so complete. Crazy how complete I feel. And also I miss being pregnant so much. I miss that bump and I miss that C-section day already. Like I just miss that, like the build up to it and then having it done and then after and you're like, it's over with, and it's like, it's sad. Like I miss that. Like I could honestly, I'm such an ugly crier. Honestly, hands down, I would sit that every day. It was so beautiful. I can't stress it enough. I know not everyone's C-section is smooth and perfect. A lot of them emergencies or rushed. But this was just so calm and relaxed. And when they were doing it, they both were just talking about university and work. So that's all I could hear. They were both just really casual and calm and it was just perfect. It really was. But yeah, I miss being pregnant. I miss my bump and I miss that day. That C-section day, I miss that. Like I crave that. It's so weird. I miss it so much. It's because like my baby was born that day and I had such an amazing experience and I'm just so grateful that he was healthy and he didn't need oxygen. He didn't need any help. That cry said it all. Honestly, it was like, so, and I was just like, oh my God, that first cry is amazing, absolutely amazing. It really is. And I can't. I'm on cloud 9. I'm so happy. I'm so positive and I feel freaking good from just having a baby. I didn't feel anything like this after Ollie. I was very low and I feel super good. And we've got such a routine and he's the best thing ever. And I'm so in love with him. It is crazy. Like my heart hurts, my boobs, my womb, everything hurts. I just love him so much and I would do absolutely anything for him. Absolutely anything, wouldn't I? You're the best thing ever. I love you. He's so tiny. I wish you guys were a little, I wish it was like a better height so I could sort of hold him while filming it with you guys. But Ollie broke my tripod a couple of weeks ago, so I have to do it on the floor. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Now his little routine is he's very needy, which he's a newborn, right? He's going to be needy. Ollie wasn't. He was a completely different baby. He was really quiet, didn't really make any noise, he wasn't really alert like Grayson is. Grayson is thriving. Ollie, obviously, Ollie was quite ill when he was born. Excuse me. Yeah, Ollie was poorly when he was born, so there was, very different. So I am co-sleeping with him. I'm not sleeping upstairs. Tom sleeps upstairs. I sleep downstairs. I co-sleep on the sofa. So don't be scared. Don't be alarmed. I've checked with midwives. I've spoke to a lot of people. Safe what I'm doing. I I've had such bad mum guilt. I have it literally every day. I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Could I do this? And I spoke to professionals. It's absolutely fine. I sleep upright. I've got pillows all around me, and then I have Grayson in my arms, and he can breathe. There is no way I would lean or anything on him. I don't shut off completely. It's weird. So as soon as he slightly moves, I'm alert, I'm awake. This brain does not shut off completely at all. The only time it would shut off if Tom had him and I had a little nap, which I haven't done. I haven't napped in the day at all. I've not needed to. I feel great. I feel good. And he is a baby that doesn't like to be put down. So he doesn't settle in his Moses basket at all. You might settle in there for literally like 10 minutes to half an hour max during the day. When it comes to the night, he hates it. It was the same in the hospital. The night that we stayed in there, he hated that little crib thing. He hated it. He was so unsettled all night, and I didn't get any sleep at all. So that's why I co-sleep with him. I feel safe. I know he's, like I was saying, I feel completely safe and happy sleeping with him. I didn't think that I would be that type of mum. Like, didn't really understand why the people did it, and I didn't really like it. But now I do understand completely. But I just want to say he's completely safe and fine. I've spoke to professionals and they were fine with me doing it as well. Because he's just, he doesn't like settling. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like his car seat. We went for a walk the other day and he loved his pram, which was really, really good. But he feeds really well. He feeds anywhere between 10 minutes to half an hour. He cluster feeds. He likes to comfort with my boob as well, so I use it as a dummy. He does take a dummy, but he doesn't hold it very well yet because obviously he's still little. But last night he slept really, really well. He woke me up twice. That was it for 2 feeds and bum change, and he's just perfect. He really is the best little thing ever. And I can't wait to share him more on the channel and do some vlogs and just show you our daily routine and just stuff like that. Tom's on, is it like maternity leave? It's not maternity leave, is it? What's it called for men? It is that, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, he's booked a month off work, so to help me and help around the house and help with Volley and baby. And he's amazing with him. He's so smitten. It's amazing. Because obviously Tom didn't really want any more kids, but now he's here, he is smitten and he is in love with him. I'm actually getting a carry one of them. You can get hopefully that didn't cut off, so we can get a little bit more done. So I'm going to have a carry cot, not a carry cot, what are they called? Sling, isn't it? Or something that goes on you and the baby goes in. I don't know the term. Such baby brain. But I'm getting one of them today as well, so we can all go for a walk in the woods, and he's just going to get filthy and ruined, and pushing that through the woods is not going to be fun. I'm going to pick him up and show you guys. I'm also going to show you guys my scar because it had healed so well. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do, because lots of updates of baby and me and my scar and just everything, and everything's really positive at the moment. It's gonna stay like that. I'm in such a good headspace. I'm on cloud 9 and I'm super grateful, and I have the most beautiful little baby that is thriving and doing so well, and I just can't wait to share him with you guys. Like I said, it was the best day of my life and I would sit it over and over again. How I look in this video as well, I should have just said that at the start. I have really dried, cracked lips and I'm an absolute mess, but I'm not worried about how I look. I'm attending to a baby, which is the most important thing right now. But yeah, I'm going to show you my scar and then I'm going to show him because he looks super relaxed and comfy right now and he's laying on the pillow. Bear with me, guys. Scar, are we ready? I'm going to pull that down here. Here is my scar. So we're still a little bruised, a little tender, but nothing bad. Well, where my beautiful baby has come from, and that scar I am super proud of, and I'm grateful I've got it there for the rest of my life. And it's in. Let's show you Grayson so you can see him that little bit better. Say hi to everyone and say hi. You are the best thing ever. This is baby Grayson. Look, he looks so big on the camera, but he's tiny. Little face. He looks so much like his brother. He's literally Oliver's double. They're so similar. They look just like their daddy. I grew you for 9 months, but you just look like your daddy. He's beautiful and he smells so good. Obviously, he's not had a bath yet. I have to wait for his cord to drop off. He is perfect. He's like a little doll. He's that perfect. Love with you. We've got wind. But yeah, there's Grayson. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it's so long, but this video means so much, and I love the fact that I get to look back on this. I love to share my experience with you guys and hopefully put you guys at peace of mind if you're going to have a C-section or you've or planned, yeah, like I said, if you've planned a C-section, try not to stress and worry over it, because it could be just as amazing as mine was. It was beautiful. But he's now woken up for a feed, so this is perfect timing. And I just can't wait to share him growing up with everyone, and I get to share it on this channel and look back at it, and it's amazing. And I'm just so happy, and I'm crying every day, but it's happy tears. It's happy. I'm just so grateful and thankful that we're both safe and well, and we're doing really well. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I will see you all soon in a brand new video. Bye guys.